This is Christoph Yalik.
This is Just Janet.
And this is K. Colley.
And this is
the Just Nuggets Podcast.
Let's go, baby.
Nuggets.
Let's go to the championship.
Yes,
NBA Finals.
Western
Let's go.
Conference champs.
Let's go. If you didn't
Woo-hoo.
know by that, this is the Just Nuggets Podcast. It is May 22nd, and the Nuggets have just swept the LA Lakers.
I got my broom out.
And if you can't tell by our voices,
We're
are
just
happy.
happy.
We got
Happy.
voices. How you doing, Just Janet?
Wow. You know why I'm Just Janet is great. You know why? Because I've never felt this before because the Nuggets haven't got here before. We got so many firsts to talk about tonight. And they hit it all. I mean, we really wanted to have a sweep in our first series with Minnesota. We got 5, but we didn't get to 4. The gentleman's sweep. And so to have it against the Lakers of all teams, our arch enemies, and then we were on this revenge tour that we talked about. We beat Minnesota, who we owed. We beat the Suns, who we definitely owed. Okay, and most definitely, all time, beat LA shirt hanging in my closet. We needed to do this. We swept them. And with LeBron on the team, I mean, I'm in heaven.
Not even just LeBron.
I'm in heaven.
AD. And I'm happy that we gave AD a bucket. Because remember, the bubble, we beat him. We got him back for the bubble.
He hit that 3.
Got him back for the bubble.
All we could do is point and move. That's it.
Christoph, how you doing today?
I mean, I'm doing amazing, bro. The Nuggets are going to NBA Finals.
Yes.
And that's something I never thought I'd ever say.
Glorious.
Which is really nice because they did it as a team. This is the best team that we've ever seen in Nuggets history. By far. You got 2 of the best players, 2 of the top 4 ever. They're definitely on the Mount Rushmore.
Nuggets.
Yeah, they're absolutely absurd.
Who's the Mount Rushmore? Can we just say?
It's English, and my Mount Rushmore is Alex English, Carmelo Anthony, Jokic Mall.
I wouldn't say anything else.
If you say anything else, you're kind of stupid.
Well,
whatever.
You can say I'd say David Thompson.
And Dan Issel, they probably sneak on.
David Thompson.
Yeah.
That's guy.
But I heard someone else today in the media. They're like Dan Issel, and I'm like.
Yes, but I'm saying David Thompson's like, you're talking about 70s, like OG Nuggets.
But so is Dan Issel.
I get that, but it's David Thompson. He's the best. He is the guy for the Nuggets. We're talking like, who was the first like bus driver that we talk about as a Nugget?
Dan Issel.
Yeah. Well,
Dan Issel was taking them to the finals in the NBA too.
Well, if we had statues outside.
I'm not hating on Dan Issel.
I'm just saying someone else could say that. That's another name that could.
Statues outside of the Ball Arena. If we had statues outside of the Ball Arena, that would be those 6 people. Issel, Alex English, David Thompson from that generation, and Melo, Jokic Mall. Right? Can we agree on that?
I give it to you.
It's literally the retired numbers. Matumbo's up there.
Matumbo's up there,
but Matumbo's only here for 4 years. Yeah. He had a spectacular moment, which until tonight, I could say it was probably like up there, like maybe 1 or 2
Denver
when
they beat
the 8 seed that beat the 1.
Yeah.
But tonight that stop on LeBron James with 4 seconds to go, and Maul makes the ball, it stops the ball. Like that was amazing. I think and they didn't call a penalty.
Before we get into
that wasn't a penalty. Come on.
I said, and they didn't.
Yeah, they did. Finally,
it was beautiful.
They called penalties all evening, but that one they didn't.
Yeah, before we get into the game, I just want to paint a picture because we were talking about Nuggets history.
Yes.
It's been 47 years, 47 attempts at trying at this thing called the NBA Finals and NBA Championship.
Yes.
The Nuggets have never done that.
Nope.
And this is all what they've done in one day, right? I mean, for the first time in the history.
Yeah.
First time going to NBA Finals.
Yes.
First time having a sweep.
Yes.
First time beating the Lakers.
Beating the Lakers.
I think we're 0-8.
In the playoffs.
I think we're in the playoffs.
0-7.
0-7 against the Lakers in series until this year.
Yeah.
So to get a sweep against LeBron, against the Lakers, to make the finals.
Loving it.
This is script writing for the Nuggets. And the job's not done.
No,
the job is
done.
far from finished.
No. It's not done. But we would be remiss if we didn't put a pin in the day for what is needed.
To say what Mike Malone said. You have 24 hours to enjoy it. And then back.
Can we have 36 because they got like a week off, don't they?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Can we have 36 or 48 hours?
The NBA Finals don't start until June 1st.
Can we bask in this loveliness for a while?
It's absolutely. So if you want to do that, let's just talk. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead. You have a point?
No, I was gonna say it's absolutely just. It's surreal. I heard that word a couple of times, but it also is. It's like, and then I heard a dumb thing. Someone else in the media said that. This is a magical season.
Yes.
And if you're new to this podcast or you're new to the Nuggets.
Check our #1 series, right? Our first out-of-the-box title. What did we say?
Yeah, this is championship season. But the reason why you call it championship season is because the Nuggets have been on their way to this point.
Yes.
They're on the incline.
Yes.
Or, they always say the window. The window's open.
Yep.
The Nuggets window has been open. It didn't even close with the injury. It was just like it delayed it. You know what I mean? It delayed it. This is like that Thanos, like dreaded run from it. Destiny arrives, all the same. The Nuggets were gonna go. It was in the cosmos.
Yeah.
Not even because it was like mystical or anything. It was truly because when you have a player to the talent of Nikola Jokic, and you pair that with someone of the caliber of Jamal Murray, then you add in the pieces of MPJ, who was a 14th overall pick. AG. You trade for AG. You trade for KCP. That gave so much lift and championship aura pedigree to this team.
And Bruce Brown.
Then you have Bruce Brown. Then you have bench leaders and someone who comes off the bench and then one who sits on the bench primarily, but he's still a leader. DJ and Uncle Jeff Green.
Yes.
It's like you put the whole team together. And we've been talking about it. I've gone back and listened to a couple different podcasts. We've been talking about this for months, so it's nothing new to this podcast.
No, it's
only new to casuals and the national media.
Sounds like a lot of people. The media has been explaining to us meaning the national people watching these playoffs, that you're coming to know Joker, you're coming to know Jamal, you're coming to know the Denver Nuggets. Are you serious? Really?
Yeah, you guys are both making great points.
Now, the point is, if you're on the East Coast time, I get it. But you stay up to watch the Warriors.
No.
You stay up to watch the Warriors.
You stay up to watch the Lakers.
You stay up to watch the Lakers.
And the Clippers and the Suns. Okay. So that's a load of cash.
It is a load of cash.
I was going to say the thing that cracks me up about the national media, and I kept hearing Mike Wilbon say it. He's like, you have to be a fanatic. You have to be an NBA fanatic to know about these Nuggets. And to Chris's point, the Nuggets have been brewing literally since 2018.
And you know who has to be a fanatic?
In this window.
You know who has to be a fanatic? They have to be a fanatic. And that's their job.
And that's their job. That's the thing. There are so many people in the national media, and I know we've just been talking about the national media, but honestly, I think that's half the reason we started this podcast is the fact that the national media never gave this team any credit. But you got to remember, like, the national media, people that are actually calling the games, whether it was Lisa Salters, whether it was
Mark Jackson,
or somebody. There's one other person who said, like, this is like the first time I've really ever got to watch the Nuggets.
I watched the Nuggets. I just haven't,
I was like, bro, do your job.
But how many mea culpas have we heard in the last 3 days? We certainly heard it from Nick Wright. We've heard it. We heard a little backtracking from Kendrick Perkins, okay, in some ways. And these people we don't really care about. We don't. But it matters because they're the ones, the voices you hear out there.
And it matters because when you're doing commentary for the game, and all you're doing is talking about the Lakers. Even today, the Nuggets are up 3-0, and the narrative was, can the Lakers be the first team to ever come back from 3-0? Not the Nuggets are too good. And just calling it what it is. The Nuggets, by this point in the season, in this point in the series, have given the Lakers enough trouble that we shouldn't be talking anything about 3-0 comeback.
It's truly a national narrative. They have LeBron, who's one of the most recognized and known players on the people on the planet. Then you have the Lakers, which is one of the biggest sports brands ever. So it's a Cosmo effect of, just easy to talk to.
And where's their
talk
studio?
About.
Where's their studio?
It's
at?
in LA and all this stuff. So all these stuff was leaning for them to have it because it's a better story. It's a better story for them. But that's what makes what the Nuggets just accomplished much better.
Yes. But
because let me finish this really fast, Jace. If you listen to the last episode, you, Kyle, any Nuggets person I talked to, anyone who wanted the Nuggets win, who's been a fan for 40 years or 15 minutes, they said the Lakers, they're going to beat the Lakers, right?
Yes.
But if you told me it was going to be a sweep,
I know it.
Like, come on, that's a cherry on top. That's a chef's kiss. That's a happy ending.
Yeah.
Whatever you want it to be. A sweep of the Los Angeles Lakers? My God, that's perfect.
With LeBron on the team. And AD.
Going for 40. I knew the Nuggets were going to be in a good spot.
Yeah, it's good.
When we were at game one, and when I guess for whatever reason I wasn't really paying attention to stats, then I heard that AD had 40 points in game one. And I was like, that was the least impactful 40 points that I've ever seen. You know, like it just didn't hurt. You didn't feel it. You felt Austin Reeves 23 or whatever he had in game one. And Austin Reeves, let me caveat real fast. That is an excellent ball player.
Sure.
Him and Rui Hachimura, they have nothing but my respect. Lonnie Walker,
hang on to them.
He has my respect as well.
From last series, not this series.
No, just in general, his game. He had a big game in last series, but he's just proven throughout this playoffs that he's excellent.
Yeah.
People who don't have my respect, Mo Bamba. My God, please get out the league. I'm sorry, I just had to throw that one really fast out there.
He ain't play this series.
I know, he catching strays, but I'm a Nuggets fan tonight, bro. Like, I could go down your whole bench, chop.
And Schroeder is who he is.
D'Lo.
He's good.
D'Lo. I'm gonna let Lakers fans handle you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there's nothing us weak, as fans of other teams that could say.
On Twitter, it was trending trade AD.
Yeah, that was actually disrespectful. It was a little disrespectful. Disrespectful. No. What AD did to LeBron, because LeBron goes out there and busts his ass for you, gives you not just for you, but for the team, gives you 31 and plays in the first half, almost every single second.
40 in the game.
That man walked to halftime.
He had 31 and at halftime. Played the full every second, but 4 seconds of the first half.
Ended up with 40 points.
And right then, I knew tonight that the Nuggets were in a good spot because he only missed 3 shots, right? He only missed 3 shots. I think he was 11 of 14. Yeah, I think he's 11 of 14 or 12 of 14. I think it was 11 of 14 in the first half. And I said at halftime, I was like, bro, if that's what it took to only be up by 12 or something like that, plus the free throw discrepancy, come on.
And our turnovers.
Like,
and can we
the Nuggets,
and then we're not gonna mention it anymore. And the refs.
Yes.
Okay.
I said the turnover discrepancy. But then also the Nuggets came out flat. They didn't come out with that energy. What really happened was
the fight.
There was a few things because that was some BS. Because that, if no one knows what we're talking about, I think it was in the second quarter. AG got tangled up with LeBron underneath the rim.
Yes. And
something that happens all the time. You'll probably see it in the finals. You'll probably see it in Game 4 of the Heat, Celtics series, or any basketball you watch, really. And they just kind of tangled up their arms, and it was a little showmanship, yada yada yada. Pushes off. He gets out of it, or not necessarily gets out of it. LeBron's trying to get out of it, and AG starts, not backing down, showing he's not intimidated by LeBron, and wraps his arm in. LeBron takes his free arm and puts his forearm normally right above his collarbone and then goes up a little bit onto AG's neck, right? And they did a double technical.
I hated it either.
They didn't review it. They just gave out a double tech. But the thing that pissed me off by far the most about it was that if AG was the one that put his forearm to LeBron's neck, he gets kicked out. Right. But LeBron does it to AG, and he gets to stay in with the double technical.
But we all must agree, and I would agree, we'd rather beat them with LeBron on the floor.
Yeah.
I get it. It wasn't fair, but it just is what it is. And get over it. And LeBron stayed out there, and I'm glad he did, because we beat LA with him on the floor, because all we would have heard was, LeBron got out and he was winning.
But
all I would say is the same thing happened to Jokic when we was down 3-0 against the Suns.
Yeah.
I understand.
He got himself thrown out in that game.
Yeah, LeBron would have got himself checked out of this game too.
I'll only bring that up is because that moment I felt like lit a fire because Malone got a technical. It focused them. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it was right before the halftime, so then they could go on and make their adjustments. And they came out, they were pretty laser tight. And I was listening on the radio because I could not listen to the ESPN commentators.
Oh, God, no.
Mark Jackson. We already know we talked about Mark Jackson and Van Gundy. Like, my God, they were asinine to listen to. I could not do it. So I went upstairs or went away and was listening to the radio, and I was listening to the Denver Sports Talk radio, and they were just Hastings was going in. Scott Hastings was making mention of them just always chiseling down the lead. That's all they did in that third quarter was chisel down. They didn't have like a dynamite like Murray flurry or anything like that. It was just steady chipping away at it, and that was beautiful.
They chiseled it and they took the lead.
Yeah.
The other thing that they did in that third quarter, it was just to put in perspective. They had a 36-16 run. I mean, lead. Yeah, turnaround.
That was the end of the game point
in that third, and they obviously the difference is them locking in on defense and stop turning over the ball.
Yeah.
If once the Nuggets do that, they're hard to beat because their offense is already going to be very potent with that 2-man game. Then it opens up into KCP open threes and AG getting cuts to the basket. Mm-hmm. So that's what happened in the third, and that was about all she wrote. Naturally, the game still had competitive juice, and it was still pretty close. Came down to 2 points. But at the end of the day, that third quarter was really what was the beginning of the end.
I think it goes to like one of the stupidest phrases I've ever heard. It was a close sweep.
Oh, whatever.
Oh, man.
Whatever the hell that means. This was a close sweep, air quotes, for the Lakers. Because
they always got to put that little lipstick on that pig, don't they?
Yeah, whatever that means.
Broom is a broom in every language.
Yeah, whatever it means to you, that's what it was. Because the Lakers played them absolutely tough.
Yep.
Coming into this, I had respect for LeBron, Darwin Ham, and Jeannie Buss. Leaving this, I have the respect for them. Sure. Plus Austin Reeves and Rui. You know what I mean? AD. Someone said this. He's 30. Fine. He's my age. We're both 30. He's a 93 guy as
14
well.
Rebounds,
but here's the thing about him. The thing about him, he's been in the league for 12 years, and his body's been through the gauntlet. I heard a conversation today about having him on the 75 all-time team and not Nikola Jokic. And I would say to that, when they did the 75, at that point in time, yes, Jokic had one MVP, but he had a finals trophy. He had a trophy, and it came when he beat and had to go through Nikola on the way to it. So now, if you did a 77 anniversary team...
No, Joker's number 76 on that list. He's number 76.
Nah, not. Hopefully he's in that 75 now.
Yeah, I guess he's 75 now.
No, you're talking about that, but it's already set.
And can I say something?
All they do is they're gonna add 25. So yes, he's a top 100 player of all time.
He's number 76.
even if you remember, this is now we're going into weeds, but on TNT when they did that 75 draft, they gave 3 extra people you could add to the team. And Nikola Jokic was one of the 3 people they added.
No,
so he was kind of already in that conversation
there before. What is a scenario that you're describing?
And Klay Thompson.
Because you can argue Klay should be there, and you can argue Jimmy Butler should be there.
Sure.
And Alex English.
English too.
Yeah. You're doing a what-if scenario for the 75, and we're talking about, okay, we're going to accept your 75 because it is what it is. That's reality. Mm-hmm. And then number 1 next is going to be 76, I'd say, is Joker, and 77 is Alex English. 78 is Klay, but that's just me.
The other part of the game when I knew the Lakers was in trouble was when LeBron walked back in right before halftime, even though he needed to get that break. And when he came back out, the offense tried to move without him. A lot of times in that third quarter, it was other guys trying to get theirs. LeBron was trying to get people open, but at the end of the day, it seemed like a lot of times when that offense wasn't running through LeBron, It's kind of like with the Nuggets. Like, you can also tell bad possessions by Nuggets by how many times Jokic doesn't touch the ball.
We know math.
So it's the same thing with
We know math.
LeBron.
He ended with 40. He had 31 in the first half. He got 9 points.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was tired. He was tired.
Yeah, he was tired. He was tired on one hand, but on the other, I think the other hand was, hey, I did my job. Who's gonna come with me?
And that's when you say they were trying to get theirs. I don't think that. I guess they're trying to get theirs, but what they were really doing was trying to help out LeBron. And it's bad when Tristan Thompson knew the assignment. Maybe because he's been in the foxhole with LeBron before. He knew to come out and play hard. But he's just not as talented or skilled anymore. Yeah, he did it. And he had a better role at it. It's just funny to me because after game 1, I thought Rui could shut down Nikola Jokic.
Oh.
But tonight, looked like Nikola Jokic had a 30-point triple-double.
Yeah.
His 4th one this series, or 3rd one this series.
Yeah.
So, if you found someone who could stop him, why did he have a triple-double in 3 of 4 games? Because they only played 4 games.
And
the Nuggets won every single one of them. Also, stat padding. I guess he's stat padding this entire postseason as he averages a triple-double.
Sure.
So, carry on.
Yeah. No. No, Nikola had a 30, 14, 13. So 30 points, 14 rebounds, 13 assists, triple-double. So that's not, nothing unusual.
Also pretty interesting how tight the rotation got in the last couple games. The last 2 games.
Nuggets?
Yeah, the Nuggets. They were only going 7. They were only going to 7. You dropped Christian Brown.
And we really didn't even 7, okay. Bruce Brown played 20 minutes and Jeff Green played 10, and all the starters played 41, 41, 45 was Joker, 43 Murray, and 39.
Because I don't.
And they were in foul trouble too.
To be fair,
Jokic had 3 fouls in the first half.
I don't think
Jokic ended up with 5.
Yeah, back to back at the end of the game.
Yeah.
But I also don't think Jokic came out from 3rd to 4th. I think he played almost the whole way through.
He came out ever so little. I mean, he ended up with 45 minutes out of 48. So he rested for 3 minutes somewhere along.
It was excellent. It was excellent how they got pissed off. They went into halftime, made an adjustment. They came out and they held the Lakers to 16 points.
But guess who played 48? Guess who played 48 minutes? LeBron.
He played 48 minutes?
48
Wow.
Except for the 4 seconds he took off right before halftime.
That's unbelievable that this man at age, is it 38? 38 in his 20th season played, he had literally a 49-10 game.
Yeah, he almost had a triple-double.
Goodness
It was
gracious.
1 assist away, and he played 48
And all you can look at is,
LeBron is very good.
No, I was going to say, all you can do is look at a guy like D'Angelo Russell and be like, bro, you had 4 points?
Yeah.
But he was +6.
You had 4 points? I'm not even mad. I'm not even a Lakers fan, but to say, like, come on, D'Angelo Russell.
Keep saying the names. Dennis Schroeder, Lonnie Walker, Kyle Vando. How about this?
He didn't play.
Sweet, get out of here, boys. Get out.
I would say the other thing about it is with the Christian Brown thing, it was just so in this Lakers series, he just wasn't a threat because he wasn't scoring.
Yeah.
I
just think that LeBron was LeBron. Okay. Yeah. Finally in the second half, AD showed up. Because he ended up with
21 points.
21 points. So he showed up and he had 14 rebounds. So he was working.
But it's how you show up. Because he went 6 for 15.
It's if you're impactful.
It's the impactful thing. And like I said, game 1 he had 40 points. No. And it didn't feel impactful.
Yeah.
The razor edge in the playoffs is so critical.
Yeah, it is.
And the fact that the Nuggets in closing time, they ate them alive this series.
Well, before we close this Nuggets section.
Can I say one more thing before that?
Yeah.
They have been good, really great throughout this postseason thus far. And the only game that they were not good at was lackadaisical, which I think helped tonight in some form or way, except for they came out flat, was game 4 versus Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that one they tinkered down the stretch and they didn't close effectively.
Yeah.
And they still forced overtime, but then in overtime, they just didn't rotate, and that dude with the hyphen last name killed him off of 2 threes, and that was the difference in that.
Mr. Hyphen.
But other than that one game, they've been excellent.
I think it's also important to note that coming into the series, AD was acclaimed by the media as the best defender in the NBA.
Really?
The Lakers were the best defensive team.
Yes, Joker gave him an all-time game in Game 1. He had like 30-plus points, 20 rebounds, 10 assists.
How many 3 triples did...
He had 3 triple-doubles throughout the series.
There you go.
The Lakers were claimed to be the best defensive team. The Nuggets held them under. Nuggets held them under. I think 101 game. So you're talking about a lot of these things that they are giving the Lakers. And then Chris's point, Rui Hachimura was a Joker stopper in Game 1. Kryptonite for him. Yep. And all that happened, and yet Jokic still wins Western Conference Finals.
That was
MVP.
Where I was going.
Also,
that was where I was going. Joker won it. And then, we get some brass for winning the Western Conference Finals, okay? Mm-hmm. We get trophy.
Yep.
We saw it awarded, and we get the MVP. And the MVP of the Western Conference Finals for 2023 is... Wait for it. Nikola Jokic. Yay!
You said y'all. I think Jamal. Jamal was right there with them.
No, it could have been either.
I think tonight was really the one where you go, okay, Jokic was the bigger guy.
Or game 3, because I was gonna piggyback on your point you're making, how they're saying versus AD, then it was Rui. Then it was like, well, he hasn't scored at all in the fourth quarter. He's been non-existent. Then he goes out there and puts 15 on your head top in game 3. And then tonight he has the game-winning shot.
Yeah.
So just everything you guys say, you're wrong and you're dumb.
Yeah.
No,
so stop. So either put respect on him, watch him, or learn him.
No, who do you put the respect on? His name is Jamal Murray. Here's my thing. Joker rightfully so got the MVP. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to say this to you fans out there. Please vote for Jamal for All-Star. I mean, that's just like that's an automatic that he's the best point guard in the Western Conference. Come on now.
No, it's becoming silly because you watch his game throughout the playoffs now, and everyone's kind of getting accustomed to who he is.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Bubble Murray, and now they're saying it's like
playoff
live
Murray.
Time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So then it's gonna become stupid to them too that he's never been an All-Star.
But when you fill out that thing next year, come on.
Yeah, fill it out twice.
For him. Come please get him an All-Star. That's the minimum.
This kind of sounds a little haterish, but it's very Nugget. It comes from a Nuggets fandom piece. It's also going to keep his salary a little bit lower because he hasn't been on an All NBA team as well as an All-Star team.
But he just got paid.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to make it's nickels.
Yeah.
At that level.
And then we're hearing the stories about what he said to Malone when he hurt his knee. That, are y'all going to trade me now and all of that. No, Murray, we're not going to trade you. We're going to keep you forever.
I never thought we were going to trade the Blue. I never thought we were going to trade the Blue.
It would have been silly.
No, why would they?
I thought, and like, you got to know, and I think I talked about this. Murray, if he sees someone else getting buckets, he's just going to get buckets.
He's a gamer.
He saw LeBron, even in that first half, a lot of Jamal Murray's points came in that first half trying to compete with LeBron.
Sure.
So that's just what he does.
That's what he does.
I can't wait till him playing Jimmy Butler. I was just saying, it looks like he might play. We go into. How about this? Let's go into not Nuggets.
Not Nuggets.
And the reason I was about to say Jimmy effing Butler, or how they call him, Jimmy Buckets, is because now the Heat are up 3-0 against Boston.
Just like we were.
And the national media has to eat crow again on the East. The East, Miami is the Nuggets of the East. And why I say that is everyone has been hating on them as well. They got undrafted players. They got nobody. Jimmy Butler's not a good leader.
Yeah.
The list goes on. And yet again, we see Miami one game away. Yep, Spo's not only good with LeBron. Whatever you want to say. We see them one game away from being in the NBA championship against the Nuggets.
No, against the Celtics.
No, NBA championship.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Against the Nuggets.
Yeah.
So
get new to it. We've never.
I gotta get
so just to give context, last night the Celtics went down 3-0. The Heat won 128 to, was it 103?
A lot to a little.
Yeah, I said.
But can we talk?
102.
Can we talk about the Celtics first before we pump the?
No, go ahead. I'll just give them context.
Celtics, what is wrong? Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. What are y'all doing? Y'all are good. Play your game. Get your points. Play. It's almost like we don't even know what's going on with you guys because you were number 2 in the East for forever. And so you got to, I don't know. You got any hint on what's going on with that team?
I think it starts with coaching.
Really?
Yeah, because at the end of the day...
This coach is dead man walking.
I don't think he's bad. I just think he's a rookie head coach.
He's only 34.
He's only 34. I think there's a level of mentality that you could tell even throughout the season that they didn't have the way they had with Udoka. At least it's not like later in the playoffs. Like they felt hungry and ready to try to win a championship last year. This year they felt like, hey, we can just walk through the East because we did it last year and we'll probably do it again this year. And even when they were playing against the 76ers, there were just moments of lackadaisical, don't care about every possession. Let James Harden shoot a wide open 3 in the corner. There is a lot of that. And what you're seeing now is you're playing a team that's just as hungry as anybody in the NBA with people that can hit jumpers. And they took the lead. I mean, they took a 3-0 lead in this series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know this is a little bit different. I'm just curious as to what Joel Embiid's doing tonight. Him and Bones. Were they watching the Nuggets or are they at Cancun?
Nikola Jokic gave Joel Embiid a compliment in his presser today.
Okay, that's cool.
He said a lot of people say that Embiid shouldn't have won MVP, but
no, I didn't say that. I wanted Embiid to win.
No, he's saying.
Okay, continue.
He said he didn't deserve it after kind of.
People are saying that.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. But at the end of the day, obviously he deserved it. He had a great year. All that. Joker misinterpreted the question, but he gave it by misinterpreting the question. He gave Joel Embiid his flowers.
Sure,
mm-hmm.
And right. that's Joker.
And that's to your question of what Joel Embiid's doing. He's probably like watching that video and be like,
and what Bones is
he's probably on Twitter.
What Bones is doing is hoping that the Nuggets win because he could get the ring.
Why I also
he gets the ring.
Yeah, right. Also, the reason I brought it up is because Boston, Philly let him off the hook. Philly's up 3 games to 2.
Not exactly.
Oh, yes, they did. They were up 3 games to 2 at home, winning in the fourth quarter. And Tatum's having a god-awful game. I think he was at like 7 points to that point.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he saw it go in. And then, like he said, humbly, I'm one of the best players on the planet, which he definitely is.
Yeah.
And he went crazy in that fourth quarter. And then he had 51 in Game 7.
See, but here's
that's what I'm saying. Is Philly let them off the hook. But Boston's been struggling all postseason, and it's kind of starting to just now show in the biggest way because I also heard this point, so I'm recycling it. But the Nuggets and Miami have been the 2 most locked in teams all postseason.
Sure,
the Lakers were pretty locked in. I just think that they
had to come a long way.
Yeah,
they had to come from
Russell,
not being in the playoffs to play in to be in the
they ran out of steam. You're right. They ran out of steam.
And D'Angelo Russell just kind of just like went AWOL.
Come on, same thing happened with the Nuggets in the bubble.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's
a lot. Think about it.
But if D'Lo has a good series, this is a whole different series.
Yeah, they would have won a game.
Think about it. The Lakers were like 10th, maybe even out of the 10th spot.
They're 13th.
They had to get from 13 to 10. Then they had to get in a play-in. And then, it's just a lot. Mm-hmm. It really just is on a 38-year-old LeBron. Maybe it wouldn't have been if he was,
But that's why I keep saying, because D'Angelo Russell, if he stepped up and played a larger role, and he got a more consistent AD, and they're both helping a 38-year-old LeBron, that's a whole different thing. But they didn't. So back to the Celtics. Do you think this is over? Sweep game on the see June 1st, Miami?
Yes.
If that's true, I'm cool with that because the Nuggets will have home court advantage.
Yes, they will.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. I don't know. I could say sweep, which would be interesting. Can you imagine?
I don't know about a sweep.
Can you imagine Boston and LA getting swept?
I think
Boston.
It's never happened in both the conference finals.
Wow.
Given what we saw tonight with the Lakers stepping up, we only won by 2 points. Because nobody wants to get swept. Okay,
yeah, Boston's good enough.
Boston's good enough to beat them. I think Boston will win this next game. I really.
Can I ask about Tatum? Because Tatum is, to your point, Chris, one of the best basketball players in the world.
Yeah.
But he's had multiple games this playoff where he has 14 points last night's game. Mm-hmm. Are you watching the series and seeing anything in particular with them? What is it hard? Is it hard for him to get sometimes?
Here's my thing. Game 2, he had 34, 13-8, and they lost by 6. That's partly, in fact, because it's my guy Williams, dude from Tennessee, goes head-to-head, literally, with Jimmy Buckets. And Jimmy Buckets, you turned that fire on Grant Williams, he turned on that fire, and you just got dog energy for the rest of the game. And Jimmy took that one absolutely over, which is dope. And I loved watching it. And they ended up pulling up by 6. So I think, and that what I'm saying is Tatum had a good game that day. Like statistically, he was on. It's sometimes it's a bad matchup. Sometimes they get out coached. I think Miami's just showing that they're a better team at this point. Because what you need from here on out is 40-point Tatum games and Jaylen Brown to mix in a 30, 35 point in there. Because that's the only way it seems like.
This note too. No, I get what you're saying.
I just don't believe the Nuggets had to do this, and you guys might agree with this point. Nuggets had to learn how to close out somebody. Nuggets had to learn how to win a close games. It took years. It took us a long time. But
I would argue both these two teams know how to close.
Yeah, I'm saying where you going with this point. Boston knows how to close out teams.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they were in the finals last year.
And did they win?
But that doesn't. But
they
had to close out 3 different teams to get there.
And then they went.
And it was the Eastern Conference Finals.
They closed out teams.
And they played Miami, and Miami was in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. And then
they forgot.
I don't want to say that.
I told you what it is. That's why it comes back to coaching.
They forgot.
It has to come down to coaching.
They forgot.
I want to say
because this year they have not closed out when they're supposed to. I don't love that point at all.
But I get what you want to say. You're just saying they're not playing great basketball right now, and they're not able to close it because of that.
They forgot.
Yeah, they might have forgot. Maybe.
What do you think of Nuggets matching up against Celtics or the Heat?
Well,
could be the Heat.
I'll say it's gonna be the Heat. And we'll go into it. I think we'll go into it in a longer podcast, just because so then we can break down matchups and all that. I think at the end of the day, the Nuggets are going to be playing a team that's for the first time that's as hungry as they are to win this championship.
If it's the Miami,
especially seeing as they've already missed out on a championship and they're well coached, so it's going to be a very different series.
Yeah.
My initial look at the teams, I think it's going to come down to so we've kind of said it. First series was a backcourt series. We knew Jamal was going to get his against Minnesota. The second series, we knew Jokic was going to eat because he was finally away from 2 7-footers.
Yes.
And he knew he was going to get Ayton, especially off of what they were saying. This one, we knew, even though Nikola Jokic won MVP for this series, we knew it was going to be a harder series for him because he was going to have to play against AD and get Rue. So we knew it was going to be a backcourt series.
Yeah.
I think this next series, again, with Miami Heat, is going back to a Jokic series.
Oh, yeah. Because Bam is going to be barbecue chicken. And Al Horford, if they play this, if somehow the Celtics come back in this, that's barbecue chicken. And not only is it barbecue chicken, that's an exhausted barbecue chicken.
Yeah.
Because they would have had to come back.
All
the way back. Win 4 games here.
Mm-hmm. Then we just
they have good momentum.
Boston to start the series.
But it's not like they've been phenomenal at home this postseason. So the Nuggets could do that, even though the Nuggets have the worst winning percentage at Boston than any team.
I'd also say the Nuggets would be probably the first team that's not going to sleep on the Miami Heat.
No. And the interesting thing is, if it is the Heat, that's one thing. But if it's Boston because they come back and fight back and take it to a 6-game or a 7-game series, Nuggets sitting here resting. They will be resting for right now. Nuggets don't have to play till June 1st. Mm-hmm. That's 9 days from now.
Yeah.
Because no matter what Miami is
with that logic, then you want Miami to win because then Miami will just be 1 day of rest, but they'll have a travel day in there as well.
See, the difference I think from this Nuggets team versus other teams that would have 8 days, 9 days off. This team, the Nuggets always need rest.
They need rest.
Because if you're still saying, oh, Jamal came back from his injury, Michael Porter came back from his injury.
Yeah.
Joker plays every game.
Yeah,
I'm cool. Rest. And AG's, we need guys that are just rested.
Sure.
I heard Joker in the last series, what are you going to go do? He's like, hopefully the pool's open and hopefully I can hang out with my family.
Yeah.
They need that time to decompress.
Right.
So I really don't have a problem with the Nuggets resting in this sense.
And if it's Miami, we get home court.
Yeah.
Okay, those are the two things with them. with Boston, they got to win 4 more games. They haven't won any. Okay, so that's gonna be tough on them, and then they go right into the finals.
And last thing,
into the finals.
If you can't get up for an NBA finals, I don't know what you get up for. Like, what you're not even a basketball player at a certain point.
Especially when the Nuggets are chanting or walking off the court saying 4 more. They know the mission.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely beautiful. One of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. Coach Malone raising that trophy over his head.
Yeah.
And then also Nikola receiving the Magic Johnson award in LA after they swept them.
Yeah.
And no Lakers ever won that award.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
But that's not their goal.
No.
Nope.
Not even.
You know what I mean? And it still has that we're happy.
Yeah.
But this ain't the one.
They're not popping champagne in the locker room.
But that's how. But you know who else is going to be like
sky.
that?
Yeah.
Miami. Whenever they get it done, if they get it done, they're going to be like that too. This is not what they're after. Because Pat Riley, what did they say? He's been 25% of all NBA finals as a player, executive, and a coach. He's been a part of 25% of the NBA finals, which is an absurd stat.
Yes.
He knows that getting to the finals ain't it.
It's just where you want to get to get
Coach Sproul has multiple championships under his belt. He knows that ain't it. Jimmy Butler's been to the finals and has lost. He knows that ain't it. Same with Bam. Bam's been to the finals. He knows that ain't it too. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be a great series. If the Celtics get there, they know it as well.
Let's stop. Stop with the if. It's 0 and 150. It's not an if. It's a guarantee that Miami's playing the Nuggets. We'll get ready for it.
I won't say a guarantee.
Yes, it is. Did you guys think the Nuggets were going to lose to the Lakers after going up 3-0? It's the same respect.
Yeah,
we're playing Miami, and it's just a matter of when they finish off the series.
No, I knew the Lakers. So the Lakers could win a game. I knew the Lakers could win a game.
Miami, Boston can win a game.
But then here's the thing: if they win a game now, they go back home,
and then they lose in 6.
Maybe.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
You guys are being optimistic.
I'm just not trying to poo-poo Boston like they're just about to get swept out of this playoffs.
It's over.
I'm saying that they could win a game.
They lost twice on their home court.
Yeah, it's over, bro. You stick forks in teams.
Lost
I'm
twice
sorry.
on their home
The
court.
3-0 until I see it, and it may be years and years and years from now.
I'm attempting to do devil's advocate here. That's all.
Okay.
Because I truly do think that this is over. I really do, but.
It's a possibility.
For a team, but if at the end of the day, it's still going. And if there's still time on the clock, I believe in it that they can always come back. Even though it's never happened, I still believe it can happen.
There's 2 sides to a coin. But that's what they said about us this morning. Well, I know the Nuggets won 3, but the Lakers can come back because, they have history.
Yeah.
It's over.
It's over.
And I don't know if it's in 4, 5, or 6, but it ain't going to be in 7.
And it may not be this series. But someone's gonna come back from a 3-0 lead.
You know how they're gonna come back? Somebody's gonna get hurt, bro. Yeah. That's the only way you come back on teams from 3-0, bro.
Because you got to win 4 straight.
You have to win 4 straight against a team that's been demolishing you most of the time.
Yeah, and that's why history says that is almost.
And if they weren't demolishing you, that means you're losing close games, and that's just as equally demoralizing.
Yeah. So I don't know. We're not gonna argue that point, but I think that Miami will be here. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not going to say they're going to sweep like we did. I'm just glad we swept. I'm just happy about it. And
I'm just happy we find in the West.
Shout
out to Ja Morant. What if Ja, Bones, and Joel was somewhere on a beach drinking Corona, fishing, and watching the Nuggets go to the finals today?
Bones would get a ring, though. That's the only difference.
The only real difference is that we're going to the 2-minute warning.
We're going to the moon.
2 minutes remaining.
Also, who else was there? Tim Conley.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, Tim Conley's out
2 minutes remaining.
He's drinking
and you know what, Tim Conley? He don't get a ring.
No, he doesn't.
Speaking of the Nuggets, and speaking of the jersey.
Neither does Will Barton.
The jersey Chris is wearing today.
Uh-oh.
In honor of 19 years in the NBA. Carmelo Anthony.
Who you've mentioned on every podcast.
That is a true Just Nuggets. That is a true Just Nuggets Easter egg, if you didn't know.
Yes, Easter egg.
Retired from the NBA today, like I said, in his 19th season.
Yeah.
Great career.
Sure.
I'd say he re-sparked winning in Denver.
Absolutely.
And the reason I say restart because there was some teams in the 80s that were making it to Western Conference Finals.
Can I say this?
It was started in the 70s.
70s. That's what I'm saying. So he resparked winning in Denver when we weren't winning anything.
Can I say this?
Yes.
When I first got here in '92, I wanted season tickets. We had season tickets to the Nuggets, and we went to all the games.
Not a big deal.
And not a big deal. And you know what we did? We watched Rocky because they were not good. We had some highlights, we had some moments, but we just couldn't get momentum enough to get out of the season and get into the playoffs and do well in them. And then we had a season where we were able to draft at a 3, and we got who? Carmelo Anthony. Thank you, Detroit.
Thank you, Detroit.
Because he could have gone second, but obviously for some strange reason, they didn't pick him.
Well,
and he fell
they
to
won
us.
the NBA championship that year. So
who did?
The Pistons.
The year they didn't pick Melo?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe they didn't need a good, strong
player. They was fine in the East.
They were fine in the East.
They
were fine in the East. So then my point is, and Melo changed things around here. He really, really, really did. And I'm going to put in my little advocacy lobby, or what do you want to call it. Put the man's number up, 15 in the rafters with his name on it. Of course we're going to put Joker. Are you serious?
Yeah, I think that...
What are we talking about? What does it matter that you have 2 15s up there? Other people have done it. Other teams have done it.
Yeah.
We gave Joker the number.
It's silly.
It's just a silly
It's silly
argument.
because it's a very silly argument. Because both of them, everyone knows, every Nuggets fan knows, they're both going to be retired. Because they both deserve to be retired.
Yes.
Like, it's not saying, oh, I want Melo's jersey to be retired as a slander or a slight to Nikola Jokic.
No.
Or saying Nikola Jokic should be retired is a slight to Melo. They're both going to get retired.
And I would bet
they both should be retired.
Hard-earned money that if you ask Nikola, okay, what to do, he would say put them both up there if we have to. Because that's who he is. So why can't we be, Denver Nuggets be who
and that's who
like
we should
Nikola?
be. Because the Nuggets have to let the Carmelo thing go.
Let that go.
It should have been gone 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
And it should have died officially when he was on Portland. The first year that Murray got injured, and they beat Portland in 5, and he was their second best player. It was Dame and him.
Yeah.
And they beat him in 6. Excuse me. They beat him in 6. Like that, got to be that had to be for Nuggets fans. The end of it.
We're better than that.
He didn't do anything. He had nothing illegal or whatever it is. Like for reasons for you to boo and not like him.
It's because he left you.
Because he wanted to leave.
Because he wanted to leave.
You know what I mean? But you cheer on Bones, or you cheer on Andre Iguodala, or you cheer on insert Nugget who has left.
Yes.
Nick Van Exel.
Yeah.
Like, what? That's so dumb. Antonio McDyess was in that trade for AI and Chauncey. And he said, I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
And guess what? McDyess would have been so helpful on that 2019 because he would have had another backcourt. He would have had like the AG type element where there's a size and skill on the wing. Wow. It could have been helpful against Kobe. And when we had no one for Lamar Odom like that. Yeah. You know, Kenyon was good, but like that wasn't good.
McDyess was in the AI trade?
Yes, and he didn't want to come to Denver. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you don't boo McDyess. There's plenty of players you don't boo, and they treated the fans of Denver with disrespect. But it's like a scorned girlfriend.
It's a scorned girlfriend.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like
woman scorned.
It was.
That's how
the fans feel. It's
those who act like
I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go to New York. And guess what? He did. He played there, and became an iconic Knick too.
So when you have all those mellow highlight films, and when he's young and he's here and he's leading your team and you get to the Western Conference Finals and he does all this stuff to get us relevant again. And let me tell you what, if Melo didn't go to New York, we wouldn't have the draft choice. We're understanding that Murray was one of the final pieces of all the draft picks that we got from that Melo trade. So he helped us get who we are now.
It's serendipitous.
Full circle.
I was telling my friend that it's Nuggets Day. when it was getting close down the stretch in the fourth quarter today, I said I have faith because it's Nuggets day. Melo retired today. Everything was kind of going in the Nuggets direction because, like you just said, Melo turned around the franchise to a point and became winning. Relevant. And winning became nationally relevant, even though they still disrespect and all that stuff. No, whatever. But they at least know where Denver is and the Denver Nuggets because Melo. You know what I mean?
Middle of the country.
Yes. And then the through line to this very team is Jamal Murray.
Yes.
Right? Because he was the last pick in that draft. And it's not by any I don't believe in coincidences. Yeah. That the day he retires, the Nuggets go to the NBA Finals,
and that is like the Lakers. Couldn't get past.
That's a culmination.
Yes,
that's a full circle thing right there.
And I think the other through line to me is the number 15. Okay. It's not a coincidence that the number one player to play in the Nuggets jersey is Nikola Jokic, and that jersey was worn by Carmelo, who was the second best player that ever played in Denver. Yes, and they both wore the same number. And mind you, Carmelo before Nikola Jokic was the 15 we knew.
And if it's necessary that we can find out for you fans that this is not new, that they retired the same number, twice. Unretire it, put it back. They've done all kinds of
things. The Heat retired 23, Michael Jordan's number. Yeah. And Michael Jordan even played for the Heat. Pat Riley just has so much respect for Michael Jordan. He retired it in that organization. Yeah. So dumber things have happened.
And if we're talking about another Denver sport, then Broncos unretired 18, so Peyton Manning can wear 18. So he can wear and then re-retired it with both numbers. Like, so don't get me started with the number thing. What I think we should focus on is that you're looking at Carmelo, who was a 3-time Olympian. Yes. You're looking at Carmelo.
Gold medalist.
Gold medalist.
Gold medalist Olympian.
Yes, and the USA.
And with the U.S. basketball. You're looking at Carmelo that was a scoring champion. And you're talking about a Carmelo that was a multi-year All-Star player.
Top 75.
Yes.
Who took the Nuggets from third pick in the NBA draft to a Western Conference Finals.
Yes.
In his career in Denver.
Yes.
You can't write the last 20 years of the NBA's history without
the Nuggets history.
No. Yeah, definitely the Nuggets history. But the last 20 years of the NBA without Carmelo, because in the midst of that, you have to talk about the 2003 draft. LeBron at 1, Melo at 3, Chris Bosh at 4, Dwayne Wade at 5. Melo is in there.
Yeah.
So obviously that set that blueprint.
Stick our head in the sand like an ostrich and act like it didn't happen. It happened.
And Braun in his presser, mind you, we didn't even say it. LeBron literally took off his hat to Nikola Jokic and said he was an absolute dog. But also in that presser, he answers a question about Carmelo's legacy.
Yeah.
And when he talks about Carmelo's legacy, he said he basically ties it to his career the whole time. That we were 16 and 17, playing against each other in high school, became the best of friends, played against NBA. Because the other thing people forget is Carmelo should have won the Rookie of the Year in 2003. Could have, should have. He took his team to the to the playoffs. And they both like set rookie records for most points in a game.
What's the word you've been saying? Narrative.
But of course, LeBron being the number one pick, the chosen one, lived up to it.
Narrative.
He was really great.
Yeah.
But Carmelo should have they could have been co-MVP, and it would have been our co-rookie of the year, and it would have been respect.
Yeah.
All we're saying is this whole section, and I know it's been two times two.
Rethinking Denver Nuggets.
We're just saying congratulations to a great year. Retire Carmelo's jersey in Denver.
With 15 on it.
With 15. Give it his flowers because he was. Because
Joker got a long time to wear that number. Y'all all know that because he's not going anywhere. We're going to keep him here. And we're going to, I'm not going to jinx it. We're going to hopefully do well this season. Get to where we want to go. And Melo deserves an opportunity to have that same respect.
And I mentioned it before. At Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, we were there. I would say the third most frequent jersey you saw at Ball Arena that night was Carmelo's. Yeah. And Jokic, Murray, Melo. And that's not by accident.
Nope.
Yep. And honestly, Carmelo could have even had number 2 for all we know. Like, Carmelo jerseys live in Denver all the time. So as much as we talk about the little 20% of people that boo, there's a whole bunch of there's the 80% of people that really give Carmelo his flowers.
Yep.
And we're gonna talk about that on his retirement. Congratulations on a great season, man.
Congratulations.
Have a great career.
Yep, good career, 19 years.
And hopefully the Nuggets bring you a championship in your retirement.
Retirement, that would be perfect.
Honestly, he should come to Game 1. And,
he should come.
He should come to Game 1. I think that's set the tone right. Anyways,
because we'll be there and we won't be booing.
This podcast is not over yet because the Nuggets are going to the NBA Finals.
Oh, they are? Yay!
And so we get to talk about the Nuggets for another 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And we're going to talk about them playing whoever it is from the East. Looks like it's going to be Miami Heat. From the Just Nuggets podcast, we have Just Janet. We have Christoph Yalich.
The Nuggets.
I am your podcast's favorite point guard, K. Kali. You can find us live, tweeting, talking on Twitter at Just Nuggets Pod.
Cast.
Yeah. No, it's actually just at Just Nuggets Pod. But yeah. What a great episode. And I can't believe to say this, but we're going to the finals. Let's go, Nuggets.
Yay! Go Nuggets!
And we swept the Lakers.
Hey!